buenas tardes, ¿qué tal? Estamos aquí en Culture Shock, como cada semana a la 1 de la tarde, sus hosts, Alan, Alice y Nathaniel. Y bueno, pues hoy tenemos un tema muy interesante, obviamente muy ad hoc a la semana.
Al día.
Al día, perdón, también, claro que sí. Y pues ya se estarán imaginando de qué. Para empezar, invitamos como siempre a todos nuestros radioescuchas a que nos sigan en YouTube y en Facebook Live y que nos manden sus comentarios y cualquier cosa, preguntas, chistes si quieren o cualquier cosa relacionada al tema del que estamos hablando ahí por las redes sociales para que estemos contestándoles. Y bueno, pues para empezar, ¿qué les parece si nos vamos directo al Vox Populi de esta semana con esta muy bonita sección que tenemos ahora en el show? En donde entrevistamos a personas alrededor del campus central y con nuestra colaboradora Demi. Vamos para ahí, por favor.
Hola amigos de Culture Shock, estamos aquí con los estudiantes para preguntarles qué opinan sobre el 14 de febrero.
Pues yo creo que es un día bonito para festejar, pues no solamente el amor, sino también la amistad, porque puedes salir con tus amigos o también con tu familia, pero pues no es como que solo el 14 festejarlo, sino todos los días.
Es, no sé, un buen pretexto para celebrar igual la amistad, no necesariamente con tu novio.
¿Y si les gusta celebrarlo?
Pues sí, aunque se gasta mucho dinero.
Pues yo creo que el 14 de febrero es una fecha muy bonita para estar con tus amigos o con tu novio o tu pareja si tienes, aunque pues al mismo tiempo pienso que es un cariño y amor que debería mostrarse todos los días del año. Sin embargo, creo que es padre que haya una fecha en especial.
Pues que es una fecha donde los amigos tienen una excusa para salir, pero pues realmente es solo una fecha más.
¿Qué opinas sobre el 14 de febrero?
Es una fecha muy bonita, es muy padre celebrar el amor y la amistad en compañía de tus seres queridos.
¿Te gusta celebrarlo?
Sí, porque es un día en el que puedes regalar algo sin necesidad de tener algo especial, simplemente por regalar.
Okay. ¿Y qué te gustaría que te regalaran el 14 de febrero?
Me gustaría que me regalaran precisamente, más que objetos materiales, sino sentimientos.
Gracias.
Creo que es una fecha en donde podemos recordar todo el amor que tenemos a nuestra familia, amigos y demás seres queridos.
Okay. ¿Te gusta celebrarlo?
Pues normalmente no lo celebro, así que no mucho.
¿Y qué te gustaría que te regalaran en un 14 de febrero?
Pues pudiera ser cualquier cosa, me gustan mucho los dulces, así que creo que chocolates está bien.
Gracias. ¿Cómo vas a celebrar este 14 de febrero?
No sé, tal vez saliendo con mis amigos y pues yo creo que ya porque mi novio no está.
¿Y qué opinas de la fecha?
Pues creo que es un día para estar ya sea con tu pareja, con tus amigos y para pasártela bien.
Okay. ¿Y qué le dirías a tu novio si lo tuvieras aquí enfrente?
Pues le diría que, no sé, o sea, que hiciéramos, o sea, lo que sea, no importa si saliéramos, si nos quedáramos en casa, pero con que la pasáramos juntos estaría bien.
Gracias. ¿Qué opinas sobre el 14 de febrero?
Pues que es una fecha como todas para conmemorar el Día del Amor y la Amistad, pero pienso que, como todos dicen, eso se tiene que celebrar a diario, no nada más un día en especial, pero pienso que es como una fecha en específico para recordarnos que todos debemos llevarnos bien y querernos mucho.
¿Y a ti te gusta celebrarlo?
Pues sí me gusta celebrarlo, pero no es como una prioridad para mí, sino celebrarlo todos los días.
Okay. ¿Y qué te gustaría que te regalaran un 14 de febrero?
Pues con que me regalen de su tiempo es para mí muy valioso.
Gracias.
Ok, estamos de regreso, entonces muy buena sección, muy buenas respuestas por ahí de todos los compañeros que nos ayudaron a participar en estas bonitas entrevistas. Y pues bueno, que me gustaría preguntarles a ustedes dos cómo van a celebrar, qué van a hacer el día de hoy. ¿Sí es hoy?
¿Yo?
Sí, ¿qué van a hacer el día de hoy?
¿Hoy?
Sí.
Hoy.
Nada.
Nada, Natalia.
Es el
No,
Grinch de la Amor y la
Grinch.
Amistad.
el Grinch del día de San Valentín. No, realmente nunca he celebrado. Pues no sé.
A Skype call.
No. Yo pienso que no necesito un día especial para decir a alguien que le amo.
Claro. Wow. How serious, ¿no? Muy bien, ¿y tú, Alice, qué onda? ¿Cómo vas a celebrar?
Yo realmente no suelo festejar los 14 de febrero porque siempre me toca estar en la escuela, entonces es como días aburridos, pero simplemente pues como siempre, como casi fin de semana, todos los fines de semana y entre semana veo a mi novio también, pero no vamos a hacer nada importante, o sea, vamos a comer tacos tal vez y ya.
Y ya, tacos
aparte ahorita todo está con reservaciones, todo va a estar lleno, o sea, es como un
todo
mundo de
carísimo,
gente y
¿no?
todo es carísimo. Eso le estaba diciendo a mi novio, le dije, tiene mucho que no me das flores, me dice, ahorita no, están carísimas. Y yo, ok, después.
Sí, claro. Bien. Ok, entonces vamos a empezar con el tema que obviamente es esto del Día del Amor y la Amistad. Y pues un poquito como siempre nos gusta hablar un poco del origen de estas fechas, de dónde vienen. Y pues hay muchas versiones, claro que sí, siempre compartimos eso, que especialmente en estos días especiales hay muchas versiones diferentes de cómo se originaron. Sin embargo, una de las más aceptadas es que un sacerdote llamado San Valentín, en el tiempo de los romanos, del emperador Claudio II, se prohíbe que los guerreros jóvenes se casen, porque así ya no tienen ningún lazo ni ninguna preocupación en casa y pueden ir a pelear con todo su corazón a la guerra, ¿no? En cambio, si estaban casados, pues tenían alguien especial, alguien a quien recordar, alguien por quien preocuparse si regresaban o no. Y esto al emperador Claudio pues no le pareció y prohibió estos matrimonios. Entonces al sacerdote San Valentín no le pareció la idea y celebra estas bodas en secreto, ¿no? En secreto entre los jóvenes que querían casar, bueno, los jóvenes militares y sus parejas. Y así los empieza a casar en total secreto, ¿no? Sin embargo, un día pues lo descubren, lo juzgan por esto. Y esto pues lo lleva también a su muerte, ¿no? Lo
y como lo curioso es que lo ejecutan un 14 de febrero, que es el día, que hoy es el día que se festeja como el Día de los Enamorados, el Día de San Valentín.
Claro.
Y ya desde ahí como que él se convierte en el patrón de los enamorados, en el que siempre estuvo a favor del amor, el que estuvo a favor de la felicidad, etcétera, ¿no? Entonces de ahí viene la historia. Y está interesante porque viene de Roma, no es algo... Yo pensé que era algo muy latino, muy americano, pero viene de Roma y eso me interesa mucho, me llama mucho la atención.
Y pues,
pues me parece, pues también hay una gran mezcla también de mito aquí también, porque realmente nadie sabe exactamente qué pasó.
Sí, por eso
entonces hay muchas historias y muchas historias que aumentan a crear lo que pensamos hoy.
Este mito, ¿no?
Claro.
Exactamente, el mito de San Valentín.
Claro.
Y pues
aparte estamos en el siglo III, según esto es el siglo III, o sea, imagínense cuánto tiempo tiene esto, o sea, cómo pudo haber la historia. Sí, la historia puede correr muchas generaciones, pero al final el siglo III tiene mucho, ¿no? Esto es como lo que
¿Quién sabe del siglo III hasta ahora, ¿no? ¿Cuántas cosas se le han hecho? ¿Cuántas versiones se han hecho? ¿Qué tan cierto es ahora esta historia, no?
Sí, y por eso compartimos esta que fue como un poco la más coherente que encontramos. Y está interesante nada más simplemente saber más o menos por dónde viene y hacia dónde vamos.
Sí, y ahora la pregunta es pues cómo ahora este día cómo se llegó a asociar, ¿no? Con este amor romántico, y por eso Nathaniel nos va a platicar un poquito.
Según un profesor de muchos años pasados, en su curso estudié, lo siento. Estudié, pues, literatura de Inglaterra, ¿no? Y de los principios de las tradiciones literarias de Inglaterra. Y un poeta, un escritor bien importante en la historia de la literatura en inglés. Se llama Geoffrey Chaucer. Y según a ese profesor, durante mi licenciatura, en su poema se llama Parliament of Fowls. Es como se dice un parlamentario. Parlamento de pájaros, ¿no? Okay. Y según ese poema, Parliament of Fowls, Chaucer pinta o nos da un dibujo, una pintura de como la primavera en febrero, y cuando todos los pájaros están, ¿cómo se dice?
Reproduciéndose.
Sí, exactamente. y es un poema sobre ese tema, y según este profesor que yo recuerdo, pues es el primer ejemplo literario primer ejemplo literario de esa tradición de amor romántico y durante febrero. Entonces, tenemos los mitos, tenemos la literatura y tenemos pues un gran puzzle de historias, ¿no?
Y otra cosa interesante es que, pues, como sabemos, es una celebración que se da o que se lleva a cabo en muchos países en el mundo, en unos más recientemente que en otros ya, por ejemplo, en México no tengo idea desde cuándo celebramos esto y desde que yo tengo memoria, pero estoy no tan viejo, ¿verdad? Bueno, y pues vamos a ver un poquito así súper rápido las ciudades como más importantes y cómo lo celebran. Empezamos con New York.
Nueva York, pues cualquier persona recuerda la película Sleepless in Seattle, pues yo recuerdo bien, soy un poquito más viejo que ustedes, pero es de 1993 y es un gran ejemplo de Nueva York en el día de San Valentín, el 14 de febrero, el mirador del piso 80 del Empire State Building, y donde muchas parejas es una tradición, ¿no? Para ¿cómo se dice? Casarse o prometer casar, y todo es bien romántica en el mirador. Y sí.
En lugares como Malasia e Indonesia estuvimos viendo que pues el gobierno no está tan a favor de estas celebraciones y se gasta un monto bastante grande de dinero y de recursos humanos en hacer estas campañas para que la gente no celebre este día. Todos los años esto sucede, no está bien visto el celebrarlo, sin embargo sabemos que siempre habrá gente que quiera hacerlo.
De estos países que tenemos aquí, me llamó mucho la atención en Japón. Se dice que solo las mujeres son quienes le regalan chocolates a los hombres, que pueden ser novios, futuros novios, esposos, compañeros de trabajo, etcétera, ¿no? Y también, dependiendo el chocolate, tiene un significado el chocolate. O sea, yo te puedo dar un Milky Way, pero el Milky Way significa
amistad,
algo.
¿no?
Okay. O un Snickers puede significar el amor, etcétera, ¿no? Entonces es interesante porque sí debe de haber una gran variedad de chocolates. Entonces, y también existen los chocolates por obligación, o sea que cuando te dan uno que es este tipo, ¿no? Sabes que es por obligación, entonces es más que nada por compromiso.
Y hace rato comentábamos con nuestra invitada que conocerán en la tercera sección, que ella estuvo de exchange student en Japón y decía que ese es el día en que las mujeres regalan. Sin embargo, como a los 2 o 3 días está el otro festejo, que es el White Day. Y en ese día es cuando los chicos empiezan a regalarle cosas a las chicas. Entonces no es que solo, porque solo las mujeres, ¿no? Pero también existe el otro día especial en que los hombres harán sus regalos.
Está súper interesante de Italia, que a mí me gustaría que algún día me pasara. Mi amor, si me estás escuchando. Es una tradición que al amanecer del día de San Valentín las mujeres solteras se asomen por su ventana.
No
y
está
si
soltera,
ven pasar
Alex.
a un hombre, ya sé. Y si ven pasar a un hombre, esto es porque se van a casar con ese hombre. Está interesante.
Qué raro, ¿no? ¿Te imaginas, Nathaniel, que salga una chica en la ventana y ya piense
Y tú vas
que tú vas
pasando,
pasando y... Sí, ni modo.
Ya me tengo que casar.
Mamma mía, ¿no? Pero, sí.
Está padrísimo
Ok.
este.
Bien.
Pero bueno, con esto nos vamos a un corte y regresamos para los siguientes países y con una entrevista muy, muy padre.
UPAEP, rumbo al 50 aniversario. Misión.
Crear corrientes de pensamiento y formar líderes que transformen a la sociedad, en la búsqueda de la verdad, integrando fe, ciencia y vida. Valores.
Junto a la verdad, el bien y la belleza, nuestra universidad sostiene como valores rectores la dignidad de la persona humana, la libertad, la solidaridad, la subsidiariedad, la congruencia, el respeto, el amor y la justicia. Visión.
Somos una comunidad universitaria fraterna, congruente, alegre y comprometida, que es referente en la conjunción del pensamiento humanista, cristiano y las ciencias, que forma integralmente líderes con alta calidad profesional y compromiso social. Contribuye a la transformación de la sociedad con propuestas pertinentes, orientadas a la consecución del bien común. Tiene presencia e influencia en los ámbitos local, regional, nacional e internacional. Centra la gestión en la persona y optimiza los recursos al servicio de la misión institucional. Líneas rectoras.
Atreverse a vivir congruentemente nuestra identidad, como ejemplo de virtud en el servicio, con respeto y amor al prójimo, para la transformación social en orden al bien común.
Privilegiar a través de la academia la formación humanista cristiana en busca de la excelencia científica y profesional, con pensamiento universal y trascendencia social.
Crear sistemas académicos de auténtica pertinencia social, a través de la docencia, investigación y extensión, para enriquecer la cultura y participar en la solución de los problemas fundamentales del país.
Involucrarse en la formación y desarrollo intercultural de la comunidad universitaria a través de ámbitos y vínculos de internacionalización.
Lograr ambientes de confianza, colaboración y servicio, dentro de una cultura de austeridad, transparencia y evaluación. UPAEP, rumbo al 50 aniversario.
Ok, estamos de regreso aquí en Culture Shock y pues aquí con dos de nuestras invitadas del día de hoy, porque hoy tenemos muchísimos invitados, ¿verdad? Y bueno, pues aquí estamos con dos psicólogas, estamos con María Teresa González y con Gabriela Polet Juárez, mucho gusto. Y vamos a hacer ahorita el switch entonces a nuestra parte bilingüe del programa, ¿no? So, as I mentioned already, they're psychologists, they work here at UPAEP, and we're very interested in asking them a lot of questions. So, to our audience, whoever is listening, if you have any questions that you would like to ask, please send them to us on the Facebook Live, and we will be happy to ask them for you, right? So, first, well, tell us just a little bit about yourselves. Just introduce yourselves. Who are you? What do you do here at UPAEP? And then we start with the questions, please.
Hi, I am teacher here in UPAEP. I am a social psychology.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 years in the university,
Mm-hmm.
and I teach Mexican identity and qualitative research.
Wow, great. And
And I'm Gabby for everybody. I used to be a student. Tere used to be my teacher also. And I like clinical and educational psychology, so it's the main topics I've been working with.
Nice, very good. So we can start the interview. Who would like to start, or should I start? Yes.
Take it away, Alan.
Okay. So this is the first question. Is there a science to love, or what do scientists, psychologists think about love?
Well, of course there is a science. In fact, there is a lot of science that explains human behavior, in this case love. We are in a specific going to talk about romantic love.
Okay,
because
great.
there is a lot of types of love. And for example, philosophy, biology, anthropology, all of these science analyze love.
Interesting.
There is a science.
It's interesting how most part of the time we relate romantic love as the only way of love, and we think that it's the only love that is being studied. I mean, in this Valentine's Day, it's pretty common to think like it's the only one, no? Or the most popular one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hey, so what can you tell us? Is this focus or this view of love in psychology very different from the one in biology, or what's different, what's similar?
It's a very good question, because in psychology we have a lot of levels to study love. And one of these is biological, even a specific neuroscience. We can study love from this point of view. The explanation is about like neurotransmitters and what happens in the brain. We call it
processes, right?
love, brain in love.
Wow.
It's interesting because love has been studied since Plato time.
Yes.
Like forever. But at the time that scientists start getting interest in giving a more objective point of view, or a more objective answer, as you said, of love, we start getting involved in what are love as a process. And I think it's pretty useful. I mean, nowadays you can say like, oh my God, that's the part of the brain that is responsible of falling in love. Okay. And it's really interesting. But also I think personally that it has been a way of understand easier love, like breathing, like the air gets in your lungs and then gets out. And we want to explain love as exactly like that, as a process. And it's useful also.
And so where does that process begin? Does it begin with love at first sight? Is that, or is it
does it exist? Does that exist?
We can say love. We have in this at this point of the interview, we have to break a lot of dreams, because
sorry to everybody.
We're going to speak the difference between love itself and getting or falling in love, because love is a very complex concept. You have to have 3 supports, like agape, eros. For example, we're going to explain later. But falling in love is spontaneous. Is to feel the butterflies in the stomach, and
that can happen at first sight.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's interesting because personally, I think love at first sight is not love. Sorry to everybody to hear that. Love at first sight is not love. Love at first sight is an intense response to physical attraction. But society has taught everybody that when you admit, like, no, I don't love him, I just like him a lot because he's handsome, because she's pretty, it's not that nice. You sound like, that's not love, that's not beautiful. But the truth is that love starts with physical attraction. It's part of. So you need to being attracted by somebody in order to start feeling the butterflies in the stomach. You cannot feel butterflies in the stomach when you just see the guy that you said like, oh my God, it's Brad Pitt himself. No? You know what I mean? So love at first sight and falling in love are part of the process. but are not love.
So is this where then psychology comes in to help us understand we've constructed something around biological feelings, so this is where your job as psychologists happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even we have another level like social psychology explains this phenomenon, because from social psychology you make another questions to analyze this process
from a different perspective, right?
Yeah. You can ask, for example, why I've always fall in love like these guys, this type of guys, for example. What are the traditions related with falling in love in a culture, for example? And it is another level, like it was similar from Google Earth, for example. You have a lot of levels to analyze this complex phenomenon.
So it's very complex, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's more than Valentine's Day.
Okay. We already talked about love at first sight, but does love forever exist? Do you think it's possible?
Yeah.
I think it's a possibility, but it's a choice.
Okay. Great.
Most part of the time, we believe at love at first sight. You fall in love after, and once this pink bubble breaks up, when your brain comes to reality and you realize that the other one is not Prince Charming and it's not perfect, at that time a lot of couples break or decide to finish their relationship. So that's why I said
your head is exploding, Alice.
That's why I think love, eternal love, is a possibility, because you decide to continue evolving in your relationship and keeping the balance between passion about taking care of the other. Is not just everything it's pretty in love. Relationships are not that pretty.
Wow.
So
And it seems that's where the different definitions of love would come in. You mentioned about eros. Well, we all know eros, right? But what are some of those other?
Filio.
Okay.
You take care from another. You share your values and what you expected from life, for example. And eros is attraction. It's very important.
Wow.
Okay. That maybe that question that I'm going to do is a little bit tonta, but
a little bit silly.
But
there are no silly questions.
Some people think that you can feel love for two persons at the same time, but I don't know if that is true or false. Do you know something like this, or?
It's pretty common. It's really common,
She's a
actually.
therapist.
Yeah, I'm a therapist, and it's pretty common to make to yourself this question, like, can I be in love with both persons? The answer is yes. You can be really, really attracted to by two persons, completely different sometimes, but not necessarily it's love.
Okay.
Most part of the time, we love at different levels in different ways. I mean, for example, you probably have more than 5 persons that you love in your life, but you don't love them exactly in the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying romantic love, works different from how you love your mother or how you love your children. That kind of responses are different from.
Wow. Interesting.
And that's what.
So there could be a possibility, but it's probably not true love. It's just a form of attraction, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So this strikes me as why it's such an important question in science and psychology, but also you mentioned earlier philosophy, right? Plato and Aristotle discuss these things a lot, right? And try to define all of these different types of love and the different. I mean, I don't know how many Greek words there are for love, but you mentioned some of them before.
So just to give a brief summary of this part, because I just want to make it clear. So we were reading about this science point of view, right? Where dopamine is produced by your brain, and then that's the sensation of love, the butterflies and everything. But according to what we were reading, it just lasts a certain period of time, and then it stops. But and psychology, I understand, is more like a choice, like you mentioned, which I think is very interesting, right? You choose to be in love, you choose to stay with that person. So what happens, or what should we do when this period of time of science of the dopamine production stops? What do you recommend we should do?
It's a year and a half.
It's a year and a half. Okay, great.
Actually.
Okay.
That's the stage that I was telling you. After you fall in love, your brain comes to reality and the pink bubble breaks.
Okay.
So probably the better recommendation when you are in a relationship and this pretty exciting feeling disappears or gets lower, it's good to ask to yourself what I'm looking in a relationship, what I want with this person. Because otherwise it was just a pretty time, you know. It's like, oh, it was beautiful, but thank you, good enough for this relationship, you know.
This relationship that only lasts for Valentine's Day and tomorrow they're
over. Okay. Wow, that's very interesting. I'm just very curious about this because I'm very close to the 1 year and a half. But I but I seriously feel like I'm in the first day. I feel the butterflies. I feel this fantastic sensation, and I don't think it's gonna like be over because it's just like 2 more months. Because if I felt like it was fading, then I would be worried, right? But I feel like it's the first day. I just feel the same excitement and the same magic, right? But probably I'm just a stupid romantic person, right?
No. I mean, the year and a half is just an statistic. It's not a rule. It can be less or can be a little bit more. But it's good to keep the magic and this feeling like the very first day. Because as it's part of the same thing. Relationships evolve with time. So some evolve really fast and ends really fast, and some others takes a little bit longer. So it's good to ask yourself, like, at this point, what I'm doing and what I want. That's something that a lot of people don't ask in their relationships. What comes next?
Exactly.
You know?
Yes. Wow.
The common hero is to take it for granted.
Take love for granted. Yes. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And I don't have to do anything, and I don't have to evolve, and I'm just I am like this, and you have
that person is gonna be with me all the life. Okay, wow.
And so is this maybe something useful about Valentine's Day to help remind us, or is how as a social psychologist, what do we do with all this information on today, February 14th?
Rethink your relationship.
It's a really good.
It's a very good exercise. Why I am here? For example, why I'm looking for beauty, sex,
a little bit company.
For example, and even if you are losing yourself in this relationship.
Because some people just I get it. Wow.
Oh my god.
Alicia is mind blown, right? Well, just to finish this section, I would like to open this question for you. I know it's very hard because we cannot separate our like academic selves from our personal selves. It's very hard, but in your opinion, as none as a psychologist, but do you believe in love forever as a person, not as a psychologist? Why?
This mature love. I have 15 years with my husband, and we never discussed, for example, never had a fight. Wow. Because we believe in this mature love. We take care from another. We have these surprises, for example, and we don't take it for granted. We take the relationship for granted. We don't. I really believe in love forever.
That's fantastic.
I'm also in a beautiful relationship. I really love my boyfriend. We're almost to get 3 years this year, and I really believe in eternal love as something I seek for every day. I mean, of course we have discussions, and of course we argue sometimes, and this kind of things that are part of the relationship. But every day we said we are betting in stay together, because we have the certain that future is completely uncertain, but we make our best to keep together. Why? Because we believe in this, like a choice.
Great.
Is one of a common phrase, for example, in our culture is I need you. Is very different. I choose you and I decide to
keep
be
with
with you. It's very different because I need you and my life is going to end if you leave. It's a bad sign of our relationship.
Yes.
I don't need you. I choose you. I want to be with you. I change to keep a relation in order to keep our relationship.
Okay, that's great. Well, thank you very much. I think that has been enlightening, right? It has been great to listen to all this. And thank you for our listeners to be here with us. And well, that was fantastic. We are closing the second section. We just invite to keep on asking us questions, and of course to the community, to the UPAEP community. If you see any of these professors out here, you can ask them more questions if you have them, right? They're very kind people and very cool people. So yes, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
¿Te gustaría crear o mejorar dispositivos para el servicio de seres vivos, tales como prótesis, órtesis e instrumental biomédico? ¿Qué estás esperando? La Escuela de Ingeniería Biónica de la UPAEP te invita a conocer cómo un ingeniero biónico domina y aplica las habilidades de elementos mecánicos, electrónicos y biológicos en las personas. Conoce nuestro plan de estudios conformado por 9 cuatrimestres con líneas terminales en diseño y manufactura de prótesis, emprendedores e instrumentación biomédica, con un campo de trabajo que va desde el sector salud, automotriz y aeroespacial. Para más información, comunícate al teléfono 229-9400, extensión 7146, o consulta la página www.upaep.mx. Ingeniería biónica, calidad de vida en tus manos. Hazlo tuyo. Hazlo UPAEP.
UPAEP, rumbo al 50 aniversario. Misión.
Crear corrientes de pensamiento y formar líderes que transformen a la sociedad, en la búsqueda de la verdad, integrando fe, ciencia y vida. Valores.
Junto a la verdad, el bien y la belleza, nuestra universidad sostiene como valores rectores la dignidad de la persona humana, la libertad, la solidaridad, la subsidiariedad, la congruencia, el respeto, el amor y la justicia. Visión.
Somos una comunidad universitaria fraterna, congruente, alegre y comprometida, que es referente en la conjunción del pensamiento humanista, cristiano y las ciencias, que forma integralmente líderes con alta calidad profesional y compromiso social. Contribuye a la transformación de la sociedad con propuestas pertinentes, orientadas a la consecución del bien común. Tiene presencia e influencia en los ámbitos local, regional, nacional e internacional. Centra la gestión en la persona y optimiza los recursos al servicio de la misión institucional. Líneas rectoras.
Atreverse a vivir congruentemente nuestra identidad, como ejemplo de virtud en el servicio, con respeto y amor al prójimo, para la transformación social en orden al bien común.
Privilegiar a través de la academia la formación humanista cristiana en busca de la excelencia científica y profesional, con pensamiento universal y trascendencia social.
Crear sistemas académicos de auténtica pertinencia social, a través de la docencia, investigación y extensión, para enriquecer la cultura y participar en la solución de los problemas fundamentales del país.
Involucrarse en la formación y desarrollo intercultural de la comunidad universitaria a través de ámbitos y vínculos de internacionalización.
Lograr ambientes de confianza, colaboración y servicio, dentro de una cultura de austeridad, transparencia y evaluación. UPAEP, rumbo al 50 aniversario.
Ok, ya estamos de regreso otra vez, un poquito de español antes de irnos al inglés de nuevo. Y pues como dato curioso vamos a compartir las cosas, los 10 objetos más vendidos en San Valentín. Esto es un dato de la página Amazon, que como saben es uno de los grandes retailers, de páginas de ventas en el mundo. Y pues una de las cosas que, aunque suena chistoso, pero más vendidas son las cintas para envolver regalos. ¿Qué más?
Es común, yo creo eso, porque ahorita todo el mundo da regalos, pero es una alfombra roja para recámara, supongo que para dar sorpresas.
Sí, ¿no? Para ponerle las rositas y todo
Un
eso.
molde de silicón para hacer chocolates,
Wow.
calcomanía decorativa para Thermomix, una cinta decorativa washi, que supongo que es como un tipo de decoración, cacerola de Le Creuset, supongo que está en francés, lámpara de mesa en metal pulido, cortador de huevos, yo creo que ya no tiene nada que ver con 14 de febrero, y una USB de 16 gigas, y finalmente una mini perforadora de papel en forma de corazón.
Muy interesante algunas cosas, ¿no? Como que they just don't make sense, ¿no? Como
Nunca he comprado nada de este 14
¿Por
de
qué comprarías
febrero?
una USB de 16 gigas? A menos que quieras dar todos los videos que le grabaste cuando eras su stalker, ¿no? Así.
No sé. Mucha gente van de compras como normal.
Sí.
En el internet cada día es como cada otro.
Tal vez hay ofertas, aunque no estén relacionadas al Día del Amor, y las
las
aprovechan,
compran,
¿no?
sí.
Or Nathaniel, would you give a USB with 16 gigs of pure love?
I don't know what that means.
Well, like
So, no, I
videos
wouldn't.
of you dancing and reciting
No.
poems and
None of
singing
that.
to her. No, okay.
No.
16 gigs of pure love.
I already told you I don't. So
Okay,
Valentine's
great.
Day.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the final section, which is our next guest. We're so excited to have Eden here today. So before we start with the interview, which is gonna be very embarrassing, by the way, right? We want Eden to introduce herself. Please talk to us about you. Who are you? Where you come from? Your likes, dislikes.
All right, well, my name's Eden Krieger. I'm from New York, Cooperstown, New York, to be specific, in the United States. It's a really small town. I'm not from New York City.
Yeah, because everyone imagines that, right?
Like
New
everybody's
York,
like,
big city,
yeah,
right?
everyone's like, oh, cool, you're from New York, and I'm, yes, but no.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Likes,
yeah,
dislikes?
Likes, dislikes. I like photography, music, food.
Okay.
Mexican food?
Mexican food, yes. I do like Mexican food. It's very good.
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't like Mexican food?
Exactly. Yes.
Like,
We're happy about our guests saying that, right?
And when was it that you arrived here in Mexico?
I arrived on December 29th this time. I've been to Mexico 2 other times.
Okay.
Previously.
Wow.
But
And you're
yeah.
here studying at the UPAP?
Yes, I am a student here at UPAIP.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm studying to be a teacher, but here mostly I'm studying about Mexican culture.
Great. So we're gonna start with the interview, and of course, well, for you listeners, Eden is, as she said, this is her third time here, right?
Yeah.
Third time in Mexico, and guess why? He had to be a guy, right? He had to be a Mexican guy. Yeah, because we're romantic and amazing. Right? Good. Okay, so please, guys, let's start with the interview.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, would you like to ask the first question?
I guess I'll ask them. So this is a intercultural, international romance. But how did you guys first meet? Where was it? In the United States? Was it in Mexico? Was it in Cuba?
Yeah, so it was in the United States. It was in my town, Cooperstown.
Okay.
He came, his name is Isak. He came to Cooperstown on exchange when he was in high school, like 5 or 6 years ago. And yeah, like I said, my town's really small, so everybody knows everybody. And his first host family was really good friends with my family, so we met right away. And yeah.
And what was your first impression?
Well, he was really kind of like timid and nervous because he was like, it was his second or third day in the country. So as you can imagine, he would be a little bit nervous, but he seemed like a really upbeat, happy, just someone who really enjoys life, really, and makes the most of every moment.
Was it love at first sight?
We definitely had this really special connection, but we actually didn't start our official relationship until 6 months later. So we got to know each other a little bit more. But yeah, we did have this very special connection
at the beginning.
At the beginning, actually, the first night, the first day that we met, our families were camping out behind my house, and we were like all the kids from the family. Well, not kids, but you know, the
teenagers.
Yeah, of the family were laying down outside under the stars, just all looking up, and everybody fell asleep, but Isak and I were still talking.
Cheesy.
And yeah, he asked me what my favorite color was, and I said purple. And then I asked him what his favorite color was, and you know, like the Mexican full of passion, he goes, the color of your eyes. So yeah.
Slick. Okay, so
first impression is that.
So the question I have though is what language were you guys talking in? Were you speaking in Spanish or in English or in both?
English.
Okay.
My Spanish isn't that great yet.
Okay.
I'm working on it. But yeah, at that point I hadn't studied any Spanish at all. I was taking French in school. I don't remember any of that either.
Okay.
But yeah, so we were speaking in English.
Okay.
Now that I'm here trying to learn some more Spanish, sometimes we speak in like 5 minutes of Spanish, but mostly it's in English. Yeah.
Okay.
And so how long ago was this, like?
That we first met?
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago. It was in 2014, the end of 2013. Yeah.
Wow. 5 years? Almost 4 and something years?
Yeah.
And have you been dating since then?
No, we dated for the last half of his exchange there because he was there for a year. So he dated for 6 months, and then we broke up when he went back to Mexico because I was 15 when we met, so I was really young.
How old was he?
He was 17.
Okay.
Yeah. So we broke up when he went home, and then we had 2 years doing our own things. We kept in touch, but we weren't as close. And then after 2 years passed, I went and visited him and as a friend, and then we got back together. So wasn't actually as a friend, yeah.
And so is this in Puebla? Is this in Tlaxcala, Veracruz, Mexico?
He's from Tulancingo, Hidalgo.
Okay.
Yeah.
From Hidalgo. So you went to visit him in Hidalgo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's not here in Puebla right now?
No. Actually, he's in Mexico City. He studies in Mexico City.
Okay.
But he goes home every weekend to Tulancingo. So.
And you go every week to Tulancingo?
Not every weekend, but this weekend, yeah. we switched. He came to Puebla last weekend.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Okay.
But
so you get to know a lot of Mexico. You get to travel around in Mexico, and so he provides a good excuse.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
that's nice.
Okay, so I'm guessing like the first impression you already said, it was the color of your eyes.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. That's like exactly right. But how was this different from the guys that you were only 15, but of course you had met other guys previously. What was like the biggest difference? Why was this very different? Or was this an American guy could tell you that? Do you imagine a guy saying that?
No. Especially at that age, no. I mean, he was my first kiss and my first boyfriend, so I hadn't had any dating experience before him. But he was, I think, one of the things that was just the most different was he was just very like, I like you, and I'm not afraid to tell you that and act like that. So that was, I think that was probably the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
like the American, the little American
this is fun because it's the same things. Like I was talking to Ethan before the show, and yeah, these concepts are very different, right? Like that's what I remember. Nelly, my girlfriend, saying. So when I told her, wow, I remember she was laying on a hammock and she was just resting there. And she looks at me and she says, "What?" And I just told her, like, we weren't even dating or anything. I said, "Wow, you just got the most amazing eyes." And she just looks at me and then she says, like, "What am I supposed to say in this situation? What should I say? No guy has ever told me this, you know?" Like, so I think that's very unique from us, right? And I think that's also what makes it very cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, so that sounds like a cultural difference that helps make your relationship work. Are there any cultural differences that get in the way, or that frustrate you, or that about him, and things maybe typical or something of maybe the way that a Mexican guy acts, and are there things about you, about maybe things typical of somebody from the United States and the way we might act.
Yeah, one of the main things that is just kind of consistent is Mexicans are infamous for being not very punctual.
Yes.
So sometimes, when we're on opposite in different countries, we'll set up Skype dates or something like that, and
Very
it's not uncommon to be like, oh yeah, 10 minutes. And then like an hour and a half later, okay, so can we Skype? But it's just, life gets in the way.
Sure.
For me, I think I'm a very big feminist. I'm a very empowered woman. So sometimes, not him, but sometimes I think maybe other people might question if maybe I can be controlled because I've heard that some stereotypes of girls in the U.S. are just like really crazy and cheat on everybody and everything like that. So it's like, can you control her?
Right.
That's not how he thinks, not at all.
Right,
but
the
that's
image
just
of the spring break.
Yeah, right, exactly.
The U.S.
Exactly.
The
Spring
U.S.
break,
girl
gringo,
on spring
right?
break.
Right, yeah,
Gringo
yeah.
on spring break, right, yeah.
And
Exactly.
there's also this stereotype of the Mexican guy cheating, right? That's also because we're romantic.
Yeah,
and
true.
it's-
Actually, yeah, right. I think it's just the same. It's the same. There might be more stereotypes, but honestly, I think it's just the same wherever you go. It's just the person. It depends on the person. You can't blame that on the culture. It's just the person. Whether or not you're gonna actually be full into that relationship or not.
Something that he gives you and you say, what? Why did you do that? Or something that surprised you.
Something that surprised me? I don't know.
Like
it wasn't
comment or some gift or something.
Why do you do that?
Okay. Well, I do have one story. It wasn't a gift. It was, like in Mexico when you're speaking in Spanish and you're talking to a loved one and you mean it in an endearing way. You say, "Oh, gordita." You mean it in an endearing way, and it's a cute term for someone that you love. It's just like, "Oh, like I love you," and when we were in the United States, before I knew anything about Mexican culture, he said that to me. And I was like, okay, like, what does that mean? And he's like, little fatty. And I got really mad because I didn't understand that was a term of endearment. I was like, why would you call me, because in the U.S., calling someone fat isn't a big no-no. So I was like, why would you call me fat? And he's like, well, I mean, but that's just I got mad, but now I understand. It's okay.
Was there any cultural difference that made it hard at some point? For example, I can explain. For the French, for Nelly, is just when something happens and she made a mistake. For example, when they make a mistake, they just apologize, but they're honest about it. Like deep in the heart, they're honest and they say, "I'm sorry," but that's it. There's no more. And in the Mexican culture, we're like more of a we put on a show for apologizing, right? It's like asking for forgiveness more than once and like begging and please, I know I did it wrong, but please forgive me and I promise I will not do it again. And that's the way we're used to. So it really made me mad when she would just say sorry because I didn't understand how honest she was by saying it, right? For me, it was just like, sorry, and just a simple sorry is not enough, right?
Yeah.
So it at the beginning of the relationship, it created these problems, right? Of me not understanding and her just being sincerely and super honest, right? Like, but still I wouldn't get it. She had to explain and I had to explain to her why I needed more than that, you know? And was there something like that?
Honestly, I think for us it's the opposite. Like, I like to explain things really in depth, and if I feel a certain way about, even if like positive or negative, if I feel a certain way, I feel like I need to talk until I'm sure he understands what I'm trying to say, because I'm someone who likes to understand exactly what someone's trying to say. So when they talk to me, I listen and I try to understand and I ask questions if I don't understand. So when he doesn't do that to me, it's like, why don't you love me like I love you? But it's just different, you know. I've learned that it's just we have different ways of being, and you have to work around that. And I think honestly that's just more us as people instead of not necessarily cultures.
Okay. Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Any other question you may want to ask, guys?
No, exactly. But what are you going to do today?
So he actually called me at 6:30 this morning, and he told me that because he came here last weekend, so he hid a little present in my room. And this morning,
you didn't even know
I
about
didn't
it?
know about it. And then this morning, he called me and was like, "Okay, go look in this place." And it was really cute. And yeah.
Wow, he's a romantic one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
yeah. He should teach us all, right?
Yeah.
How to be romantic, right?
And
wow,
then actually,
hiding the present.
Yeah, no, it was good. And then actually later we also have like a Skype dinner date. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you have time to come up with something equally creative to hide when you see him next.
Right, exactly.
That's good. That's
one
of the benefits of distance.
Because remember, the psychologist said
you that
not to take
time
it for
in between
granted.
to think of things to do.
That's great. That's fantastic. Well, we're almost finished for today, and we want to thank Eden for being here and
Very,
sharing.
very brave guest.
Yes, because this
To volunteer
sharing
to do
is
this.
personal, you know. But I think it's very interesting to analyze this cultural relationship, right? Like when we come from different places, there's always very interesting things happening. Because if in a normal relationship from people from the same culture, same background, there are these very cool things to analyze.
But
it's
I think
it's even more, right?
But just as important to remember, like you said, Eden, that people are just sort of people everywhere, and you can find all types in all
everywhere.
different countries.
Yes, that we've been saying in the past shows. It's great. And well, thank you again, Eden. Thank you to the host today. We were very cool today. I think it was a very relaxed show.
This was a good show,
I hope
yeah.
everyone enjoys it and everyone has a very good day with their loved ones, either if it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, friends, whatever. Enjoy it.
Feliz Día de San Valentín.
Feliz Día de San Valentín, right? Thank you.
Hasta la próxima.